Have you ever thought of someone and seconds later they called you? Have you ever felt a wave of emotion arriving out of nowhere as if borrowed from another mind? We call it coincidence. But what if it isn't? What if your thoughts don't end where your skull does? What if every idea, every memory, every pulse of emotion ripples out into a shared ocean of consciousness, an invisible network that connects us all? For centuries, we believed the brain was private territory, a sealed box, a biological machine that generates thought. But the deeper science looks, the more that boundary starts to blur. Because beneath the cells and chemistry, beneath the electrical sparks of thought, lies a subatomic world where separation is an illusion. In that quantum world, two particles can meet once and remain connected forever. Change one and the other reacts instantly, even across galaxies. No wires, no signals, no time delay, just pure connection. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. But every modern experiment has confirmed it's real. And the atoms that make up your brain follow those same laws. Your mind is not cut off from the universe. It is the universe arranged to think. Inside every neuron are microscopic filaments called microtubules. Some scientists believe these structures sustain quantum coherence, tiny ripples of energy vibrating in perfect unison. They may allow the brain to operate not just as a computer, but as a quantum system, one that can entangle with others, share information beyond the limits of space and time. If consciousness is quantum, then thought itself might be a signal in the fabric of reality. Maybe that's why you sense someone before they speak, or feel pulled to call a person moments before they need you. We think of that as intuition, but maybe it's resonance, the echo of two minds vibrating on the same frequency. At night, when your conscious mind slips into dreams, your brain waves slow and synchronize. You enter a state of near-perfect resonance, a doorway where your mind is free to drift through the hidden networks of awareness. Sometimes two minds might cross there, sharing fragments of the same dream, the same story, the same emotion. When we sleep, the walls between us fall away, and in that stillness, consciousness may touch itself across distance. A shared field, humming quietly beneath reality. But quantum entanglement doesn't only defy distance, it defies time itself. Some experiments show that what happens now can influence what happened then, the future reaching back to reshape the past. What if intuition works like that? What if your future self is already whispering to you? A quiet nudge, a feeling that something is coming, not prophecy. Memory sent backward through the field, a message from the version of you that already knows. In that sense, time may not be a straight line. It may be a living web, a tangle of possibilities, all existing at once, waiting for awareness to collapse them into a single path. And as individual minds connect, a greater consciousness begins to form. 7 billion human brains generate electrical fields that ripple into the atmosphere, blending with data networks, machines, satellites, emotions, all of it. A vast electromagnetic symphony. Some scientists call it the noosphere, the layer of global thought that now surrounds the planet. Maybe the internet isn't an invention. Maybe it's an emergence. Earth growing a nervous system through us. Each thought we share, each emotion we broadcast, adds another spark to the planetary brain. Each of us is a neuron in Earth's mind, a tiny but vital point in the grand computation of life. When enough neurons synchronize, awareness emerges. When enough humans align, something new awakens. Maybe the planet itself is beginning to think, to feel through us, to dream through us. And what if the same principle scales upward? If Earth can think, can galaxies, can the universe itself? From the smallest particles to the largest clusters of galaxies, everything interacts through information. Every photon that collides, every atom that vibrates, every brain that wonders, it's all part of one grand computation. When you think, when you feel, when you observe, you are part of that cosmic process, the universe thinking about itself. And maybe consciousness isn't a product of complexity at all. Maybe it's the ground state of reality, a field that has always existed from the first light of creation to the firing of your neuron. Matter doesn't create awareness. Matter is what awareness looks like when it takes physical form. If that's true, then every thought is immortal. Energy doesn't disappear, and neither does awareness. Your memories, emotions, and choices are written into the fabric of existence. Every act of kindness, every flash of love, every ripple of empathy is stored somewhere in the quantum field, a record of the universe learning to feel. When you love someone deeply, your heart rhythms synchronize. Their breathing matches yours. Even brainwaves begin to align. Science can measure it, but it can't explain the feeling. Love may be the highest form of entanglement, a resonance so powerful that two beings share the same informational field. And when someone you love dies, that connection doesn't vanish. It only changes frequency. You still feel them, in dreams, in sudden memories, in the silence between thoughts, because once entangled, always entangled, the thread may be invisible, but it never breaks. Everything, from atoms to galaxies, follows this pattern. Information flowing, systems balancing, awareness emerging. The same equations that shape a galaxy's spiral also govern the rhythm of your heartbeat. The micro mirrors the macro. You are not inside the universe, you are the universe. Folded into awareness, breathing, remembering, thinking. We are not isolated minds floating in an empty void. We are the void dreaming of itself, a living network of light, thought, and memory stretching across time. You are not alone in your mind, you are one thread in the infinite tapestry of existence. And together, we are the universe, discovering that it can feel. If this changed how you see reality, subscribe to Deep Science, where every question opens another universe.